Okay, so welcome to our H&C masterclass. So there's going to be a wide range of stuff that we're going to be covering for you all lot. So first of all, Thomas is going to be covering JavaScript. Then we've got Jorge that's going to be covering primary keys, and I'm going to be covering ERDs, and then Ethan will be covering HTML and CSS for you lot today.
Alright, so as Harrison said, I'm going to be covering JavaScript as well as a Node.js package. So what I'm going to need to do is I'll have all of you log into your VMs, create a new Node project, just an empty blank project and start. Well, I'm aware that all of you know how to use Node so far. If anyone has any questions or need help setting it up, please just ask me.
Well, we can't get in there.
Gonna go fast.
Yeah, you got to come and look at the Me? No. Yeah. I don't know. I use your thing in it. So can you hold it? Sorry? On my keyboard. On your keyboard. Okay.
Do you want housing as well? Nice to do on TJ, we're going to get Harrison in your place so we can identify yourself. Badge on?
Come on. There you go.
That's
Thank you.
Sorry.
Do you have like a folder that you make stuff?
Not really. That's on just one drive.
There be.
Just name it
Hold on. Yeah.
My timers are quite tight. Desktop and everything.
Okay, they're gone. So don't worry. And when we started late anyway, you'll be right. You'll be fabulous. So they all are in VMs, are they?
Yeah, all of you already logged in. All of these guys are set up. I'm just waiting for the one that's been taken pictures of.
Okay, and then that's it. And then they're all logged in, so you know what they're doing. Brilliant.
It didn't set up via Studio Code.
And then
create
are you just doing your VM?
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, okay. You all set up, guys? All set up almost?
Yeah.
Node project, brilliant.
I've got two
Yeah, like ready to start.
Kirby, what have you created? It's 100 nested timeouts.
It's just a timeout that toggles
two things playing on space, except I just copied it over and over. So
Yeah, but you could just have the timeout.
No, I know, this is-
and took the function and use it working together. You just waste the amount of timeouts.
I am very aware I made this.
Is this your?
Yeah.
Can you open up a new note?
I know that this is terrible. Oh wait, you mean like for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting to start. I need to start from the very beginning.
Yeah, well, hopefully we,
Just the camera cut.
I'm not in the like actual good idea, but that's
I don't know why you use the studio code at work, is because we don't have all.
based
if I do so
yes, they're not, there's not meant to hard copy, put it on. Yes.
Can I get my they stay you two guys typing away for years of it? Maybe so guy in the middle, you're the phone like that for this shot, so check the screen.
It'll give hard copy. You'll see.
I'm looking at buying the said He's got two more now. Wanted, so I'm gonna get it for half price. It's like,
I'd have it. I think it's grand goals anyway, but it keeps the.
Is everyone ready? Ready to turn around, stand your chairs around?
So it's done.
Go TJ.
No, done that. Before we move on, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is TJ. I work for a company called Time Vision. I'm a software developer at that company, where we mainly use web processors such as JavaScript and TS. So what I'm going to be covering today is classes and object-oriented programming a little bit inside JavaScript, as well as we're going to be looking at a node module called Crypto, which is used for encrypting and decrypting as well as hashing data. So obviously, most of you know what JavaScript is. It's pretty straightforward. It's just one of the core technologies for the World Wide Web. So moving on to the JavaScript classes. So JavaScript classes obviously use object-oriented programming. They have a constructor. They also can be deleted and created, as well as they have properties and attributes that are unique to that class and can be either introduced when you call the class or be preset for every single class. So does anyone actually know like the definition of object-oriented programming? No one? I don't want to give it a guess. But object-oriented programming, or OOP, is a computer programming model that organizes software around data or objects rather than in functions and logic. So instead of just having a function that you call to do a bunch of stuff, you could have a class that then has a bunch of attributes set in there with functions inside that class to basically keep all your data nice and neat and your code looking nice. So in JavaScript, there's two ways of creating a class. We've got the first way, which is the way that we're going to be covering, which is a nice using the class keywords. And then you've got the horrible function that's also a class way, but we're not going to talk about it. It's just that you can turn a function into a class using this keyword. So you feel free if you want to type some of this up as we go along. There is on Teams, there is underneath the underneath the occupational specialism masterclass section inside files, inside JavaScript, there is a handout that has a whole bunch of stuff on it. this is.
Did you say it's on like Teams or?
It's on Teams. So inside your Teams area, there's a new channel called Occupational Specialism.
Thank you everyone.
Oh, lanyard.
Oh, yeah.
Just realised. All take your lanyards off for me. We'll pick up in 2 seconds. Thank you.
While you're also on the Teams, there's also feedback form for any questions that you may have throughout what I'm explaining that my colleague at the back will be able to pick up and be able to tell me if you don't feel comfortable asking questions.
All giving these back.
I'm not gonna lie, I got the syntax wrong instead of this. And it's the same as the bottom. You're lining up from no, not you don't need that for that. It's only inside
Has everyone found that? Everyone good to move on?
I think you've got to scan it in and then.
If you're all good to move on, just turn your chairs around all the way. Not 90 degrees, there you go. So this is how you create a class. All classes need the constructor element. So the constructor element is called when you run the class, when you initiate the class. So you can set variables from the constructor, or you can just set them as attributes just by doing something like this, where you're creating a function inside the class test to print out the variable test. So calling the class, so you've got the class there. You would use the keyword new. So classes, they get called because it's not a function, and you can have multiple instances of the same class. You define that you're creating a new class. So here I'm creating a new class, and I'm sending it to the variable called test, and I'm calling the attribute print from test. A lot of you, from what I had, used a lot of nodes, so you see you're probably used to the syntax of dot, constantly using dots to go through classes, which is a lot of what you import when you download a package. So it's called a class. But this is an example of actually a getter and a setter. So here I'm getting the name of that passed through the class, which you can pass variables through in the constructor. And then I got a setter that sets that name, so I can call this outside and be able to change the name, and be able to set the name, and this will be useful later in the task that I give you. Any questions so far? So deleting a class, so sometimes you might want to remove the class because you don't need the class anymore. So that's using the delete keyword. So this will remove the class. Not removing classes at the end of programs can cause memory leaks because you're storing memory when you create this new class and you're never unallocating it. So remember, if your code needs to end somewhere, that you delete it, or if you've got error handling, that you delete the class if there's a problem trying to do so with the class. So attributes, so going back over what I said, the class attributes are basically just predefined stuff inside it. So it can either be functions, variables, or you can even have another class inside of the class if you really want. So these basically are the parameters of what each class has. You can change them using getters and setters, which you can create yourself. Any questions? So your task, your first task for this is you're going to create a class called character that contains the attributes health and armor. I want you to be able to set the character's health and armor from the constructor, and I want you to create two players with two different variant values of armor and health, and then print out those players' armor and health. If you need any help, just put your hand up.
There are also handouts on Teams if you do need any help throughout this.
This keyword. You notice how you did that, it gave you a bunch of syntax for all together. But you can't, well, actually, you can actually. It's just easier to have them all as one word than using the get and set keyword. Good. Because I wasn't very convinced because there's a lot more.
You want to play one?
Seems fine.
Yeah.
It's case sensitive.
Yeah, that's inside this though. That also itself is going to change. And it's like object value doesn't change, but the ID object, like the object value changes. So these,
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just giving them
and then back to the object. The object says values in
Maybe the first character. Go to settings. Make sure to change them.
This is very
It's fine. This is dot. So it's a reference to something. Scroll down to see only class. And you don't access these. It's dot. Not that. It's just access your Java stuff.
That's good. We can, what I was talking about is you scroll up, you can see class variables through the constructor class, and then you can then set them to those.
Instance, basically an object constructed from the blueprint. No, it is working. When you call new, you're effectively just calling the constructor. So when you call new, you run any character. So you can call the child like constructing a new character, and it will run it anything related to the data. Because it's storing a project, it's not stored itself within itself. Have you done? Yeah. Make a box that's like this. Giving them something else. Yeah, a box. Just making sure. So yeah, do another character. So try and make a new class. I'll put both of these. Class from health and then go maybe damage. Yeah. And then so on. And maybe even add damage to characters.
Yeah.
So more health to your rolls, more armor.
Sentry as
well. I did that for the way to link your character. It's our favourite something. Look, there's 3 of you there.
Get it so you have so you create another person, make it so you can character 2 characters and like one person.
And they can be only 10. When you shoot the that's not just a single project. This one. It's not good. I made that box. That's not what I did.
You have to play by accident.
I don't think so.
No, you don't get like
Fake man's on send it to turn-based. On here, you need to make it so it equals the health and equals the armor. You're done. Can you help?
Yeah.
Are you both of you done?
I'm done.
Perfect. Can you do me a favour? Can you make it so a character and then take another character? Yeah. Now take over that house and make it actually as a you inside.
I'll figure it. Everyone uses different. You must have used now. Get really
You say you just need into your home visit. Yeah. I would do that. I think everyone over here uses it.
But I don't think it's TJ.
Yeah.
Should we have a better answer? No, it goes when you're presenting, you get it all. Yeah,
I've definitely walked past that and looked direct.
yeah, no, everyone has. Doesn't matter.
I walked past, I was like, shit, that's not you cut it. That's my step. No, that's my step. To show you the living stuff.
Yeah. I've got to flip it with my phone here. Oh yeah. So the problem you're getting is you're not actually calling the printers, you're not actually giving these anywhere. So you're getting them in there, but it's trying to call that when that's its own place, if that makes sense. It's not a global variable. So that's all like pretty much that is like that bit code. So that can't actually see that without that being opened up.
AWS in your exam,
Yeah.
It doesn't directly